All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of great millstone that taught us his truth. Peace, love, and salutation to the hopeful like Akim, teaching and preaching this truth with all righteousness and sincerity. Shalom, Nisak Yawasat. Today's lesson is entitled Global Supply Worries and a Spike in Robberies. And Lord willing, you be edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the true names of the Heavenly Father and his only begotten Son, whom the world ignorantly calls Lord God, and Jesus Christ, the Savior of the children of Israel. And as always, these lessons, the sit downs, the street speaking, is for the elect, the remnant, the Israel of the Most High, and to you as a gospel priest. So I got a couple of things I'm going to hit the precepts, get in and get out. And once again, Lord willing, be edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So, right now you got a lot of things going on, a lot of prophecies, all right, coming to pass. You got a financial insecurity, which, we've been talking about an economic collapse. And in order for Esau, Edom to fulfill his belly or, you know, um, accomplish his NWO, he has to cause the financial structure to collapse to usher in his digital um, currency. All right. And the CBDC, which is an acronym for central banking digital currency, that infrastructure is already set up. So, there's a lot of things that's going on in the earth that is going to, you know, aid him into fulfilling his desires upon humanity. All right. And at the end of the day, this is the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Like our elders and apostles of Great Millstone say, the CIP, all right, the MOTB, this is the Most High's MOTB, and he's just putting it on the hearts of these Edomites to fulfill it. So you got the financial insecurity, food insecurity. All right. There's recent reports that came out that spoke about bird flu outbreak in the U.S., where they are projected to kill 5.3 million chickens in Iowa. All right, and they saying this bird flu or this pestilence is gonna put a damper, in the food supply in regards to chickens. All right. And Jake is just pretty much just tossed to and fro with everything that's going on. You got hard to find a job. It's people is finding it like it difficult to find a job that pay, livable wages. Here it is, you got the cost of living going up, gas is ridiculously high. You got global supply worries. You got the situation happening in Ukraine, with Russia and then China is being involved, which is gonna, dragging all these other world leaders into the whole situation, which, Russia, from what I've gathered, they produce fertilizer. In China, they produce, rice and wheat and all these other things. So, if these individuals not on the side of the US, then it's just gonna be dark and grim. All right. And hey, you got the price of homes are up. Homelessness in LA is rising sharply. People was experiencing bankruptcies, business closures, and it's just the middle class is just basically getting phased out. So I'm gonna read a little bit of this article. I'm gonna go into some other little things that's going on here in Los Angeles, with the spike in robberies and made it with the prophecies. And once again, Lord willing, be edifying. So this is from Farm Journal, AG Web. It says plains drought to curb U.S. wheat harvest adding to global supply worries. It says a worsening drought in the southern U.S. plains is threatening the region's winter wheat crop, just as the Russian invasion of Ukraine dents global supplies. Some farmers in western Kansas, the top U.S. wheat producing states, have not received much measurable rain or snow since October. Wheat winter is planted in autumn, lays dormant in winter, and begins sending up green shoots in spring. Proper soil moisture is critical at this time for the crop to thrive. More than half of Kansas was classified as under severe drought or worse as of March 8th, the driest conditions since 2018, according to the National Drought Mitigation Center. Severe drought is also covering three-quarters of Oklahoma and more than two-thirds of Texas, both of which are large wheat producers. So, the Lord is slowing up the rain. You know, it says water woes come on top of the freak December windstorm that swept away some topsoil in parts of the U.S. wheat belt, damaging some croplands. And wheat, is very important to, the food supply. Wheat is found in pretty much every damn thing. Wheat and corn, wheat, corn, and rice. That's that. Like I said, that's pretty much found in everything we eat. It says U.S. hard red winter wheat represents nearly half of the country's overall wheat production and is milled mainly for bread flour. A reduced crop could further stroke food inflation in the UN. It's like that the UN Food Agriculture Organization said was the highest ever in February. The FAO food stop. The food price index averaged 140.7%. It says last month's 20% increase from the year earlier and passing the 2011 record. So you pretty much get the gist, man. It's just bad news, for wheat harvesting, and a lot of the Midwest states is being affected. All right, which is going to aid into more food shortages and more lack of resources. And then on top of that, you have Miami Beach declared state of emergency after recent spring break violence. And while you got all this stuff happening in the background with the economics, almost like with the economy, as well as different things happening with the food supply. You got Jake in the spirit of partying and bullshitting, you know. So it says the city of Miami Beach was declared a state emergency in addition to implementing an up and coming curfew in order to curb violence across the city as this spring break. The move from officials come after shooting this past weekend wounded 5 people. It says during a news conference Monday with the Miami Beach Police Department and other city officials, Mayor Dan Goober said that tourists had created an unacceptable atmosphere across the city and that the city was way past its endpoint. So we know what happens during this time. Jake, pretty much wows out during spring break. And, with the 2 years that C-19 has been here, it pretty much slowed down Jake's ability to travel and go out and do this and that. Now, with all these recent measures in regards to the lifting up of masks and, enabling, people to, somewhat get their life back, wickedness is increasing, and you don't have that just here in Miami. You also have it out here in Los Angeles. This is from KTLA 5. It says Beverly Hills smash and grab burglary under investigation. And as we seeing the jobs slow up, we seeing famine, a looming famine, we also seeing crime increasing, and it's like it's going hand in hand. It says a brazen smash and grab burglary at the Beverly Hills jewelry store Tuesday afternoon is under investigation. At around 1:45 p.m., police received multiple calls about a burglary in progress in the 200 block of Beverly Hills Drive. Lieutenant Giovanni Trejo of the Beverly Hills Police Department told KTLA. Bystanders watched in disbelief as 5 people got out of their car and used what appeared to be a sledgehammer to break the plate glass window of luxury jewels in Beverly Hills. So in this video, it's Jake. All right. Let me see.
Grab burglary is under investigation.
Let's get right to Gil Levas. He's overhead in Sky 5 with the latest. Gil.
Hi, Lou and Glenn. You're looking at Beverly Hills PD investigating that smash and grab. We're at the 200 block of South Beverly Drive with the cross of Charlieville Boulevard. This smash and grab happened a short time ago here at the Luxury Jewels of Beverly Hills. I can tell you that, stand by 1 second. I can tell you that it's drawing a crowd here because there's a lot of glass here at the store frontage. I don't know if you can see it in our shot there, but they taped it off. And the Beverly Hills PD, they're investigating this smash and grab robbery that involved multiple suspects. That's the very latest overhead.
Stop. Salaki. Let's see. There was actual footage of Jake in the act. Let's see if we have it here. Oh no, that's not it. Yeah, there was some footage of the men that were breaking into the jewelry store, but nevertheless, one might say, okay, this always happens. It's happening all over the place, and you're right. But the point is, wickedness is increasing. All right, iniquity is increasing. All these different criminal activities is increasing throughout the world alongside of global supply crisis, rumors of war, the prophets out there, Esau, Edom coming down with great wrath. And we seeing the digital currency infrastructure is being set up right before our eyes. So this lets us know the time and season that we're in. Now let's get some of these precepts here. I got Second Esdras, the 6th chapter loaded up, and we're going to read into it. Now, when you start in this chapter, it's pretty much going into, Esdras speaking to Uriel, and he's trying to figure out when it's going to be the end of the first world and the beginning of the next, which is going into the end of Esau's world and the beginning of Jacob, which is the kingdom of heaven. So, these particular things is going to be happening in this time period, which we're in now. Verse 18. Let's see. 18. And it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. And this is the Lord speaking through Uriel to Esdras, which Esdras was a Levite. All right. He was of the tribe of Levi. He was an Israelite of the tribe of Levi. It says, and I will begin to make inquisition of them. Inquisition is basically an examination by way of the law, right? Let's see. Pull this word up. Any other time it pulls up a definition, but you know how it is. Inquisition. It says a period of prolonged and intensive questioning or investigation. All right. So investigation. And normally when you have FBI agents or anybody within the, a loss, an authority spectrum, when they do an investigation, they're examining an individual and see if, seeing what crimes is being done. And that's what the Lord is doing right now. And he's starting it with the elites, and I will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion should be fulfilled, which is the affliction of Zion being fulfilled is now. And it starts off by way with this doctrine, because the doctrine is the Lord showing that mercy upon Jacob, showing that compassion and that love. And the individuals that will receive this truth is gonna, if they're predestinated for salvation from the foundation of the world, they will receive deliverance out of this time period that we're entering into. But the point I want to really, get into is what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness. And that's what the elites have done. Everything that this place is built upon, and I'm talking about America, which is Babylon the Great, has been built upon unjust and unrighteousness. So the Lord is making inquisition of this place, and we went into that word, which is, investigation, cross-examination, questioning, interrogation. All right. It says, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished. All right. And and I spoke about earlier how in the ninth verse it speaks about Esau as the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So this world is speaking about the rulership of Esau. And when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. Tokens are signs. The book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. And the day is the elect shall see all together, meaning that they will have the truth and they will be on one accord. And the books being opened before the firmament, the satellites are in the firmament. So this truth is going to be found on the internet. And all you individuals that want to come out and say, "Oh yeah, y'all get the truth from the internet and from YouTube and blah blah blah." Well, the prophecies speak about how the book shall be opened before the firmament. All right, it says, "And the children of a year old shall speak with their voices. The women with child shall bring forth untimely children," and these are different signs that's going to be happening in the end of Esau's world. Now, as it says here, the women with child shall bring forth untimely children. That's premature children, preemies. And by way of Esau's technology, he's able to, keep a baby alive that is premature. A baby may come out at the 7th month of its mother's pregnancy. And Esau has, certain technology where he's able to, enable that child to live. It says of 3 or 4 months old, and they shall live and be raised up. And that's, this wasn't happening in these ancient empires, but it's happening in this one. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And that's the time period that we're entering into now. The sown places, your grocery stores, your big box stores, your Targets, your Walmarts. All right. If in your city you got Best Buy, you got different electronic stores, all these major brick and mortar locations that have goods and services, they're gonna experience lack of goods and services, especially with the recent supply chain crisis that happened at the various ports, throughout the landscape of Babylon. I know here in Los Angeles, you got the Port of Los Angeles, and then you also have the Port of Long Beach, which, these large ship containers from all over the world come in to import their goods from these different countries. So as it says here, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. And you seeing shelves being limited with product. All right. And then you have inflation, becoming high due to the gas and due to the lack of services, which is going to enable more shelves to be lacking products. It says the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. So, it's going to come a time where you ain't going to be able to find certain things. All right. And that's going to enable that famine. It says the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth the sound, they shall slack it. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall suddenly be afraid. Now the trumpet is the prophets, and we blowing this word, starting with our elders and apostles, great millstone, we blowing the trumpet. All right, and we lift it. As a matter of fact, let's get this here in Isaiah 58. Where that trumpet, Akim? It says, Isaiah 58:1, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and shew my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. So we're on the highways and the byways bringing this truth out, and we're not sparing anyone's feelings. All right, and we're judging, Israel. All right, let's get this in Joel 2. Joel 2:1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand. So that's what we're doing. We're blowing the trumpet in Zion. We're giving the people warning of these different events that's going to take place on the earth. And we saying how through the spirit, famine is coming, sedition is coming, anarchy is coming. Esau, Edom is finna come down with great wrath because he know that he had but a short time. And your whole lifestyle is finna change up because the Lord is finna visit this place. So we're blowing spiritually that trumpet of war. All right. And as it says, should let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, because we're not coming with a comfortable message. We're coming with discomfort. And if you ain't got that hedge of protection from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, you finna be out here bugged out and found wanting. It says in the 24th verse here in 2nd Ezra 6, at that time, friends shall fight against another like enemy. So you're going to have, civil unrest. You're going to have, neighborhoods, fighting against each other, especially when these grocery stores ain't got any food and water. A lot of people is finna be invading each other's houses, robbing, stealing. A lot of rape is going to be taking place, and all kind of crazy, wild shit. It says, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. So the Lord is going to, cause famine and drought. And that's what we was reading here in this spread here, speaking about drought. Let's see if we can find it real quick. And if we don't, we're going to keep it pushing. Yeah. Here it says more than half of Kansas was classified as under severe drought, or worse, as of March 8th, the driest conditions since 2018. According to the National Drought Mitigation Center, severe drought is also covering 3/4 of Oklahoma and more than 2/3 of Texas, both of which are large wheat producers. So the Lord is coming with that famine. You understand? The Lord is bringing it. It says, whosoever remaineth of all these that have told thee shall escape and see my salvation in the end of your world. So the elect is going to escape. All right. The Lord is going to enable that hedge of protection around the elect, and they will escape all these different things. The Lord is going to enable food, water, and, the necessary things for the elect to get through this troubling time so that they can, be delivered when the Lord Yahweh Shai comes. Now we bring out famine, crime, iniquity, and these different events that go on in the earth. But with balance, the elect is gonna be protected during these times. That's why, if you are part of the elect, which you will have a spirit on you to receive the word, you will receive a covering. You understand? Let me get the balance in here. Psalm 37:16, a little that a righteous man have is better than the riches of many wicked. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but Yahweh upholdeth the righteous. Now the arms of the wicked is going into the strength of these devils. The wicked is Esau, Edom. And Esau, Edom, I'm talking about the elites. They consult with these different spirits on the left-hand side, and they give them, certain information and wisdom and counsel, so they can, fulfill whatever they, their heart's desires. But as it says here, the arms of the wicked, or the strength of the wickedness, it's like the strength of the wicked shall be broken. That's why Esau, Edom is scrambling, and he's going to eventually come down with great wrath, because them spirits and them demons that they consult with, they ain't answering them no more. When you read Isaiah the 47th chapter, it speaks about how these Edomites consult with use sorcery and witchcraft. It says, but the Lord upholdeth the righteous, the elect, and we're being held with the spirit of truth. We're being comforted with the truth. So, we're not, tossed to and fro with the different things that's going on in the earth, because the Lord has made us privy to the secrets and mysteries found here in these prophecies. So we know what's up. For the Lord knoweth the days of the upright, the elect, and their inheritance inheritance shall be forever. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. So the elect is going to be eaten. Meanwhile, everybody that's contrary, that's outside this truth, they're going to be suffering famine, plague, tribulation, and anguish. And all these different, said perils that's here in the scripts. Verse 20. But the wicked shall perish. That's Esau, Edom, and 2/3 of Jacob. And the enemies of the Lord shall be as fat of lambs. They shall consume into smoke. Shall they consume away? So the Lord is going to burn up, the wicked here in Babylon the Great. The wicked being Esau, Malachi, the first chapter, 2/3 of Jacob, as well as these nations. And just as our, our manners and customs, as far as burning up the fat of lambs, because when you go into it, you're supposed to burn the inwards of an animal, and then you're supposed to burn the fat, with fire. The Lord is going to do that with the enemies of the Lord and the wicked. So the second death is going to be met with you Edomites, you wicked Jakes, and you nations here in Babylon the Great. All right, and that's the ultimate day of the Lord, when the Lord bring that fire and that heat, But this time that we're entering into, man, it's gonna be wild, So I'm gonna leave it at that. Lord willing, you were edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And this has been Global Supply Worries in the Spike and Robberies. All right, double honors to our elders and apostles, great millstone, Shalom, Akim, stay fervent in the spirit.